are here at the Louisville Firehouse number 3, brought to you by Central Roofing and Restoration. The firefighters just came in, and they said, tell Coach, we said what's up. So we got a little extra morning greeting from Mike McCarthy joining us here on Shan, RJ, and Bobby, 105.3 The Fan. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, Bobby. Good morning, firefighters.
Oh, my gosh! Oh, that's
that
cold.
Hurts me personally. That hurts me. I hurt my feelings.
Well done. Well done, sir. Well done. Well done. You and Jerry, thank you. Appreciate that, Coach. You ready to do some actual You ready to do some actual coaching this week?
Oh my goodness, Jesus, you are sensitive.
Well, 40-0. You couldn't play with the new toy. You couldn't get into the offense. So I know that disappointed you a little bit not to be able to unveil, huh?
No, I was perfectly fine with the outcome of the first game. So I've done this long enough that it's all about winning. And frankly, it's a great experience for us. You know, we do play in the NFC East, and to have a bad weather game early, and and have success in that weather, I thought it was a great experience for a football team.
Coach, I know you commented on it earlier in the week, but obviously your relationship with Aaron, what's it going to feel like to be out there on Sunday knowing you're not going to face Rodgers and everything that he's going through with the injury?
Yeah, it's I'm just like everybody. It's you feel terrible for him. Obviously, this new chapter and everything he's poured into this opportunity, but it's part of our game, and and our focus is really about winning our first home game, and this is a hell of a football team. Been very impressed with them all week, but yeah, it's the unfortunate part of this league.
Obviously, like defensively, you may plan differently for Zach versus Aaron, but like as an offensive coach, do you build offenses differently based on the other team's quarterback or offense? Like if you're playing Mahomes, you figure you got to get to 30. If you're playing a lesser offense, you could maybe be more conservative. Does that play into preparation at all from the offense?
I would say it doesn't play in preparation from my standpoint. I think the biggest thing is having an understanding of who you're playing based on what they do, but most importantly, how do they utilize their players? And a lot of these decisions, as you look at your season, as far as when the schedule comes out, you got to make sure you have enough ammo as far as on your menu of building your system for each and every year, and that's why playing the AFC East is different. But we've had an off season to look at the similarities of the Jets defense and other defenses we competed against. So to me, this is all part of the spring and building for these opportunities.
What do you see in Zach Wilson as a quarterback, and how much do you prep for him differently based upon his NFL tape versus the college tape?
Well, we're past the college tape. We're focused on the NFL tape. He's a very talented young man. He can make all his throws. I think he would be an excellent fit for their quarterback movement game and things like that. So those are the kind of things we're focused on. But you just it's a new coordinator. What are they doing schematically, and how do we think they're going to attack us?
Talking with Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy here on 105 through the Fan. They do have a new coordinator there with New York. It's Nathaniel Hackett, a guy that you've got a lot of history with. We all have seen the off-season stories that'll be like, Mike McCarthy once babysat Nathaniel Hackett. But how cool is it when you get the opportunity to go up against somebody that you've got such a long-standing relationship with there, and how does Hackett kind of challenge you guys?
Well, on a number of fronts. Personally, I'm just really, really proud of Nathaniel and his career, and but yeah, it's always fun to compete against the people that and you have history with. But Nathaniel has a lot of his father in him. You can see the West Coast core concepts, but he's added the system movements, particularly in the action in the quarterback movement game. So. But yeah, you feel like you have some history, and you're just watching the defensive preparation this week. You can see a lot of carryover from their offense and our offense.
Did you tell him to grow that goatee?
I did not. No.
Mike McCarthy is already trending after the opening line here on social media.
No.
Yeah, not good.
Oh, my
Not good
goodness.
for us.
Ew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jerry didn't tell you to do that, right?
I read my emails at night. I'll just.
Hey, Coach, we know how much you wanted to emphasize run defense in the offseason. How much of a test is this going to be taking on Breece Hall with what he did in Week 1 and Dalvin Cook?
Oh yeah, I mean you got two big time runners, but it's definitely a focus. You know, you could see it in the Monday night game. So, and we feel strong that we can probably answer this every week, but that's how people are going to come at us. And you know, as far as running the football downhill and then the quarterback movements and the action off of that. So that's, you know, obviously a big part of our prep every week.
Mike McCarthy here on 105.3 The Fan. Coach, we always usually ask this when you have like one fantastic corner. Looks like you guys have two with the addition of Gilmore. Is it a relief not to have to think about traveling Diggs with a guy like Garrett Wilson when you have two guys like this on each side?
Oh, definitely. I think when you can play left and right and play matchup football, I think it says a whole lot about your whole secondary and all the pieces tied together. So yeah, no, I think this is about as good as a situation as I can recall. And as far as the combination of experience, obviously ability, so we have a lot of flexibility in our secondary.
Coach, you've talked a lot this offseason about, with the offensive changes, how you want Dak to own the offense and to really feel ownership of it. And that'll be when the offense really hits its peak is when Dak, feels that ownership of it. What does that mean in terms of, details or particulars? And do you feel like that's what you saw last Sunday was Dak taking ownership of the offense?
Definitely. I mean, Dak definitely owns the offense. I like to think the whole quarterback room views it that way because these offenses are, in my time in this league, at the end of the day, who are you going to build your offense around? This offense has always been built around making the quarterback successful, and that starts with a commitment to the run game, have the protection schemes and adjustments to combat these defenses today, and have a philosophy of detail in your passing game. So, and he has done a great job of commanding that. And then it's all the other things too. It's not about plays as much, but it's taking command of the preparation, the interaction, the specifics, the conversations beyond the classroom. I mean, all those things. Dak does an incredible job of the little components of leadership. I mean, we see the bigger moments, but it's the little everyday things that he does an incredible job of.
Coach, I know you, everybody, the listeners always like to get sort of a little lesson on some of the stuff with the game of football. And when you talk about Dak, and one of the things that we hear a lot about Dak, is that he's really good pre-snap, his ability to diagnose and recognize things before the snap. Could you just explain what the process is for the quarterback specifically, how you want the quarterback from the time they break the huddle to the time the ball's snapped? What is it you want them looking for?
Well, you have pre-snap and post-snap responsibilities. So, I mean, obviously, once the play is communicated, obviously there's responsibility in that as far as just his command and communication and pace of operation and all those things. And you get to the line of scrimmage, there's always keys you're looking for because every formation dictates a response from the defense. So, having your pre-snap keys, and then how's the current scheme, run or protection tied to the threat of the defense. So you go through that process. Then there's run it plays, there's adjustment plays, and there's check and lead plays. And so whatever realm you're in, you have to gather that information, and then the decision is made. And and the last component of pre-snap is your cadence responsibility. So and that's something that I think we're doing a much better job of. And he's done a really good job commanding that, and the variations have improved. And then once you snap the ball, then you got to play football, and I think we run out of time to do the post snap. So let's stop right there.
Mike McCarthy joining us here, 105 through the Fan. As your career's gone on, it's different. Players play less in the preseason now than ever before. Like, have you noticed a change in terms of how long it takes for offenses to truly get into a rhythm and to catch up to the defenses, or has that never been a problem really?
No, I think that's I think it's fairly accurate, as far as, but I mean, there's no exact science to it, but I'm sure the pattern of statistics will reflect, how these games go. Because, the offenses may be behind the defenses, but, the defenses are just getting going too, particularly in their, the speed of their fundamentals and techniques and finish. So there definitely is a build-up, and some teams are clearly ahead of others, going into September football. But September football is not the cleanest football of the year. I think we all recognize that.
Coach, are you anticipating a slugfest? Will this be a great test for the physicality of your team on Sunday against the way this team plays, especially their defense?
Absolutely. No, I think that's going to be a big part of this game. So, it's an uncommon opponent, but as far as their style and aspirations that everybody has, I know it's week 2, but I think both teams are looking forward to this game.
Coach, I know you mentioned earlier this week how fun it was just as a fan of good football to study Quinnen Williams and how disruptive he is. What's that struggle like, though, that internal struggle when you put on the film and you're admiring it as a football guy, and then on the other end of it you're going, well, hell, I got a game plan to block this too?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty regulated in what we do. I mean, you get in there Monday and you're really focused on their personnel, throughout Monday evening, and then you get into, okay, how we're going to play this game. So yeah, I've always appreciate the players and how players grow, where they start and everything. And I mean, he's a tremendous football player. He has great tape. I mean, his season last year, the numbers speak for themselves. But I was very impressed with him in the Buffalo game.
Well, and one of the guys, obviously, that if he's able to go, would be tasked with blocking Quinnen Williams would be Tyler Smith. Could you just update really quickly where he stands and also Brandon Cooks?
Yeah, we obviously don't practice today, but if we did practice today, Tyler would he most likely would be in the rehab group. So we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Coach, this is probably a dumb question, which I know will not surprise you.
I thought we were going to get out. I thought I was going to get out of here.
It might be brilliant. It might be brilliant. I got to throw one at you after the opening you gave us. Do you guys does looking at Hard Knocks, does that help you guys in any way in scouting, or nothing whatsoever in terms of looking at what they do, the way they're talking about their team? Does that play 1% of any role?
I think you can pick up, a vibe from those type of opportunities. I mean, I personally have not watched the Hard Knocks, but we do have it. Do have people here in our operations have watched it, and you look for things of communication that maybe tied to the video, but they watch it too. I mean, they edited the show, so. But yeah, I've never felt like over the years of playing a team that was on Hard Knocks and you play them really. I never really felt like we got anything totally out of the video, which is a credit to the people that do the show too, because I think they're trying to represent the right concepts.
All right, last one. We're having a throwing contest this morning out here in front of all the. What's that?
You're throwing?
Yeah. We got football.
Football contest? Okay.
We're probably going to throw our arms out. That's what we're probably going to throw, if you want to be perfectly honest.
So we need to know from you, what's the best route to judge for this contest? Is it give me the yards and give me the pattern in order for us to determine who wins or loses this bet?
An 18-yard comeback.
Ooh.
An 18-yard comeback. Okay.
Yeah, now you got to get it outside the numbers now. It can't be.
All right, so they got to turn. The receivers got to turn to the right then.
Well, or the left.
Well, I guess it depends on forget that.
Yeah, that's too much. Just throw go routes.
Opposite hash. Is that what you want? Opposite hash outside the numbers.
Yeah, just tell them to run deep. Get it up early, because I'm sure you guys don't have a whole lot of length.
Hang time, huh?
Wow, Mike.
Hey, you gotta know what you're playing with.
That's right.
Mike McCarthy bringing it strong, creating a promo at our expense, brought to you by Black Rifle Coffee, the official coffee company of the Dallas Cowboys. Coach, greatness this morning. Thanks so much. Good luck on Sunday.
All right, take care, gentlemen. Talk to you next week.